George is an idiot. So he had sent over on Brad Pitt's letterhead as Brad, saying, "Hey man, I'm going to do this Miles Davis movie, and I'm going to play Chet Baker, the Miles Davis movie, and we've got Wesley Snipes to play Miles. I don't know if you want to play Charlie Parker or something in it. That would be great." It's like, it just smelled so much like George. You know, the paper even had a soupçon of Clooney on it, so we didn't take that seriously, but it was funny. It's not a traditional biopic. It's not told in a way that we're trying to make sure we check off all the, you know, sort of benchmarks of Miles Davis' life. It's really more creative than that and more impressionistic. My writing partner, Stephen Begelman, and myself really wanted to take a story that could be music-centric and really let the sort of story of Miles Davis music as it inspired us tell us how to tell the story.
I was born. I moved to New York, met some cats, made some music, did some dope, made some more music, then you came to my house.
That's it. There's tons of research that we did, obviously. You know, I read everything that I could about him and spent a lot of time with his nephew, Vincent, his son, Aaron, people that he knew and played with, Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, really inundating myself with everything that I could about who he was. Then we asked ourselves, going through the material, what is drawing us in and what's the departure point? Because you could try to start at the beginning of his life and kind of tell a chronological and this and this and this and this, but documentaries have done that, and there's a Miles Davis radio play that does that very well, and there's books, like I said, tons of articles, and we just didn't want to do that same thing. But as we, you know, had touched so many different forms of music you could point to as being moments in history that were very important, and there's a way to tell it from that perspective. There's a way to tell it from the perspective of just the development of the music. But what was the most exciting part to us when we looked through the research was this 5-year period of time when Miles wasn't playing, when he didn't play, when that incredibly prolific artist went quiet. Why? What was happening then? What was that about? How did he get into that? How do you get out of that? And we wanted to kind of externalize that internal battle as we would understand it. As artists ourselves, when you come up against your own limits as far as how do I say what I want to say, what's the best form, what is it? And we just took that as a departure point to tell our movie. But at the same time, you don't want to do some salacious story where you're just trying to come up with the most sensationalistic stuff that you can. So it was more about trying to figure out a way to tell a story that was about creativity, that was about the music. I wanted to bring myself close to Miles and find like our points of connectivity as opposed to trying to mimic him and figure out a way to tell all of the important sort of beats along the musical journey, because that's just not, in our opinion, what he was about.
My trips to your kiss, no sooner